Hey, we're back. This is the Captain's Log. You got with the camera.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Ricky Cruz, buddy. How are you?
Good. Apparently, I'm driving this car. I'm on this side of this side of the car, man. Let me hook up my social media too.
Yeah. Get that thing going. So,
what about, so I share right here, right?
Yeah, just share now and you'll be good. It'll be done. That way you don't have to waste any time.
You're the king of this, man.
So the thing is like we were talking, it's been over 10, 12 years.
No, I'm going to say more than that, Brian, man.
It has to be.
Like 15 when you were when you're at Marco.
15 years we've been working together.
Yeah, Marco. And that club was a different animal, man.
It really was.
It was, because you were like right next to the beach, so you had guys walking in bathing suits and flip-flops. They had no idea what they're walking into. They had no idea what they're walking into.
It took a while to train the audience that this was a real comedy club for a few years.
Man, did they ever get it?
Yeah, I think they did. I think they did. And then, they're really
coming in for fish sandwiches, and all of a sudden they're getting, dick jokes thrown at them.
It was a good time, though. That was back in the day. So, your career, you started in Miami, right?
I started in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, okay.
While I was going to school. And there was not really any places to do it up there, so I would just, get a bar or a club and just book my own shows.
And then, how long were you doing comedy before you hooked up with Ralphie? Because, as you know, you were good friends. You toured with him. Ralphie and I were friends. We fished a lot.
Yeah, you guys were buddies, man. Well, in 1999, I went to L.A. to do a show for my manager. And then I knew Joey Diaz.
Oh, yeah, Joey, yeah.
A good buddy of mine. And I had nowhere to stay. He goes, "Hey, cocksucker, I got a place for you." So he takes me to the studio apartment on Sunset and Gardner. Yeah. I walk in, and it's Ralphie May's studio. Tiny, size of this car, man. It was a bed, a kitchen, a bathroom. I walk in.
It was his studio apartment?
Studio apartment.
Yeah.
Ralphie May's sitting there on his bed, and he's got Jack in the Box strewn out across his food. Jack in the Box is a restaurant.
Right, yeah, of course, yeah.
He got Jack in the Box.
They got busted
it's like
for
his belly was like his table. Yeah, it's like his table. He's sitting there, and he's like, "Joey Diaz, who's this runaway you brought to my house?"
And so, he always was funny at insulting you, but loving it. You loved him more the more he said it.
Loving you, man. I had no place to stay, and Joey's like, "Hey, this is my buddy Ricky Cruz. You mind if he crashes here for the weekend?"
Yeah.
And he let me stay. He didn't know me. Yeah. He let me stay in his futon for 3 days. I was supposed to go back to New York on Monday. I had a screen test for As the World Turns.
Yeah.
All right, but I was there in Ralphie May's apartment for the week doing shows, and it blew my mind. I'm hanging out for the weekend. It's me, Joey, him. Jay Moore would show up.
Yeah.
All right. On Sunday, Kevin Spacey popped in. It was a crazy.
You would die.
And I'm dying. Like, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
So on Monday, I called my agent. I'm like, "Hey, give that job to somebody else. I'm not coming back to New York."
Right.
And so I just stayed in LA. And Ralph was like, "Hey, listen, you can't stay in my apartment all this time, though."
Yeah, right.
So
hey, come on, buddy.
So I ended up crashing in that same building in different apartments.
Yep.
Until I found my own, and that was it. And we became buddies, and I was green, man. I had just started doing comedy like 2 years in, and he was ready, headlining, but not the Ralphie May as you knew him to be.
Right.
He was just.
Did he already at that point do Last Comic?
No, this is before Last Comic Standing.
Okay.
He was a touring headliner, but
still crushing.
Still not really known, crushing at all the LA clubs.
Right.
Picture Motley Crue when they first started out in Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
He was that guy. So everybody would want to come hang out with him. That's why Jay Moore would go, and Kevin Spacey, Joe Rogan was always kicking it.
Yeah.
And so I'm just this new guy. I show up into this world, and we just became buddies first, friends. He just liked me. And then, he taught me a lot about the business. He helped me get spots while I was in LA.
Right.
And then, as I grew, he started taking me on the road.
What was it like watching him go from basically, being a headliner to a superstar?
It was amazing. It was amazing because he was like already funny. When he hit Last Comic Standing, he was already formed.
Yeah.
And then all he needed was just that exposure.
Right. So just someone to put him on a big stage so everyone could see him.
So he went from headlining small clubs to doing theaters.
Yeah.
And deservedly so. But sometimes you see these guys who don't have the chops.
Right.
And they go ahead and they get this kind of exposure and they can't handle it. But he was already so formed and ready to go that once he got that kind of spark, he was just a volcano.
The one thing I liked about Ralphie all the time is he would always bring people along with him. Like, he was always so great to other comics, to club owners. Like,
he was the best.
He knew, he got the business. Like, he was never in a battle. Like, sometimes you have these big headliners that it's like some kind of struggle where they want to, like, have this kind of argumentative conflict with the club owners when you're working with them. Ralphie was the guy like, hey, buddy, bring me in the worst week of the year. What's your worst week?
Yes,
I'll
man.
sell it out. Like, that's where I want to be. I want you to have your best week.
Yeah, man. Because he knows it's a collaborative effort, man.
Yeah.
He knows not just him, it's you guys. He was always so generous to the wait staff.
He was.
He'll pay rent. He'll give a waitress her whole rent for the month on the tip.
I know.
You know, and he would do so long on stage so you guys can sell.
Totally.
So you guys can
and
sell
then
that
sometimes
food.
I'd be like, Ralphie, get your ass off the stage. You've been up there 3.5 hours. Everybody wants to go home.
You guys sell enough? You'd be like, yeah, we sold enough. We're done.
He would say that.
Yeah, man.
He would say, hey, Captain. Like, he'd yell on the stage.
You good?
Yeah.
Good?
Are we good now? Did they get their money's worth? He'd always say that too, right?
And
you paid me to do it 45 minutes. It's been 2 hours. Should I go another hour? Be like, no, you're good, Ralphie.
and he would too.
Yeah.
He would too. And a lot of times he's working out his next hour.
Right.
You know, I remember being in Columbus, Ohio, and they wanted to see the old stuff. They wanted to see stuff from the album. And he got mad. He's like, man, buy the album. You want to see that, buy the album. I'm never going to get better.
Because he was always doing new stuff.
Yeah, I'm never going to get better if I don't do new stuff. And sometimes the new stuff wasn't there yet.
Yep.
But he had to do it.
And then he would reel him back in and break out a couple of jokes.
Then he would do scuba diving.
Yeah.
He would do, finger banging.
Right.
He'll give it to him eventually, but, he wanted to make sure he was working on his new stuff, man. He was such a great teacher, man, and such a great supporter, like you said, of young comics.
He really was.
Good young comics. If you were trash, he was like, whatever, man, this guy's trash.
What was one of the main things that you really admired or learned from Ralphie?
Man, like his honesty, just being honest on stage, being who you are, not being afraid to sit in silence.
Right.
Because honestly, he would do a show and it'd be 20 minutes of him just trying to find the bit.
Yeah.
And then... And he would be like, I'm comfortable in this quietness. I'm going to get
He didn't care. When he was on stage, that's where I think his whole life he was most comfortable.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I mean, knowing Ralphie, and you knew him, you spent even more time with him, but the way I knew him, like, I always felt like when he was on stage, he was the most comfortable in his life. When he was doing other stuff, he was still a great guy, he was still really personable, but he had a different edge on stage that made him, like, just, I think, more relaxed, which is probably why he stayed there 3 hours every show. 3
hours, man.
He'd get 8 hours of freaking out of 2-3 shows.
The stamina's crazy. You see a guy like Ralphie, that guy's out of shape. You got health issues.
I know.
But then he would go and do 2.5 hours.
And sometimes he would fish. Dude, I'm telling you, when we went fishing, this dude would stay on the boat for 8 hours, and I would be like, bro,
how are you going to do a show?
We got to go. Are you good? And then he would show up at the club and do 3 shows.
Yeah, 3 shows.
Stay up there for 2 hours every show.
No problem at all.
Yeah, it was amazing how he would do that.
And I never seen him write anything down.
He did not, did he?
No.
Never.
He always got mad at me. I write things down. I like to write. He was like, why you got that notebook, man?
Right.
I was like, I gotta write it down. That's how I remember things. That's how I formulate my things. He would just go and he would just like talk. It was a language to him.
It was.
Really
was, yeah.
It was like he was a different human being.
So now you've been doing comedy on the road for how many years?
I'm going on, 20 years of comedy.
And this is your first time on the Captain's Log. How can they find you? They can find you on Instagram.
At Ricky Cruz Comedy.
At Ricky Cruz Comedy.
Go to my Instagram. That's where I'm most, active. Go check it out. Like all my funny things.
You have a show tonight at Off the Hook Comedy Club.
That's right, Off the Hook.
Use the promo code BIG, B-I-G. Get 2 free tickets right now. The first 10 people will do that. If they go to offthehookcomedy.com, use B-I-G, and they'll get 2 free tickets tonight to see you at 7 o'clock in Naples. Ricky Cruz is my guest on the Captain's Log. So you have how many kids? 3 or 4?
No.
5.
Dude, what are you doing, bro?
5, bro.
What are you doing, man? I don't know. I had 3 that I know of. That's what that I claim.
You got 3 kids.
Who knows what's out there in El Paso somewhere?
And you have one daughter that's how old?
My daughter's 15, and my boys are 11 and 9.
11
and that's been the best thing that happened to me. Like, I was a crazy person. Like, if guys that know me when I lived in LA, they would tell you they have no idea how I'm still married 15 years with 3 kids.
They would tell me that too, and it's true, because I'm not. They would say the same thing. How the hell are you married? Well, I'm not anymore. Twice.
I'm still holding on. So, because I was a different animal. I was just trying to pull something else out of the club. Yeah. My mind was somewhere else,
Yeah.
Like, I remember sitting next to Paul Rodriguez. He had this tour going on, and his manager named Worthy Patterson goes, hey, you got to bring Ricky Cruz on the tour with you because he can sell tickets over there on the East Coast. Dude, I sat down. My mind was not even into it. I had 3 girls off to the side doing this to me right here. And I was like, Paul, man, can we talk later?
We gotta go.
And he was like, oh, you rather deal with that than deal with me? He never talked to me again.
Get out of here.
He never talked to me
Paul
again.
Rodriguez?
Yeah. Because he saw where my head was at, man.
Yeah.
And that's where I was. Getting married and having kids really made me refocus myself.
Right.
And because nothing good was happening for me back then.
Right. You were just chasing it.
I was just chasing. Nothing good was happening.
Yeah.
So when I got focused, that's when things started taking off. I was able to direct the energy somewhere else.
Totally.
Definitely, man.
Now, Paul Rodriguez, I have a funny story. He was coming to the club. He got stuck on a plane literally for almost 24 hours at the airport. He slept there for 24 hours. Man. He missed his first flight, and then the second flight, the plane broke. It took him 24 hours in the airport before he could actually fly to the club.
I'm surprised he came.
And so wasn't everybody. Everybody was surprised, buddy. But he made it.
It's like a flight to Australia.
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah, he stayed 24 hours at the airport, man.
He's a great guy, man. He's one of the guys, being, a Spanish kid. When I saw him get his first break, his show, I was like, oh, look, man, the Spanish guy on TV.
And then his son's a freaking world-class
skateboarder, man.
It's amazing.
He got his own shoe.
Yeah.
No, amazing. Definitely, man. Comedy's one of those things, man, that if you do it and you keep doing it, eventually, if you're honest, you'll find your groove, and then you attract the crowd,
Well, Ricky, this is your chance to ask me a question. You get to ask me 1 or 2 questions at the end of the show. Anything you want to know about me, I'll be happy to answer it. Don't forget, guys, you can see Ricky Cruz at Off the Hook Comedy Club tonight, 7 o'clock, offthehookcomedy.com. You can call 239-389-6901 if you somehow can't buy tickets online, even though you're watching this online right now. But maybe you had the podcast going. Maybe you got the podcast version, and that's good. So you got a question for me before we wrap up the Captain's Log, buddy?
Man, a question for you.
Let's do it.
I don't know. What are you doing next, man? You do so many things. I called you Captain Adderall on the last radio show.
I take 1 Adderall. I'm supposed to take 2 a day, but I take 1.
Do you?
It's for 5 years I've taken it, and prior to that, I couldn't figure out why I had these confusing thoughts and what was going on. And I didn't know I wasn't diagnosed with ADD, but I have ADD, and it's.
And you found that it helped you?
Yeah. And ever since I started that Adderall, take 1. I was prescribed 2. I take 1. I like the way it makes it feel in the morning. I get nice, clear thoughts, and it wears off after time, and then it's good.
Because that's an amphetamine, that's like.
But it doesn't do that for me. Like when you have that. When you have ADD and that straightens you out, man.
Okay.
That your waves are going like this, and all of a sudden then they connect.
I need some of that.
That's
probably,
different,
man.
That's different. I know everyone's like, oh man, let me get some. I'm like, no. First of all, you can't. I don't do that. I don't pass them out. It's not candy.
No.
So
go to a college campus. That is candy.
That's what they say, right? So, but it doesn't affect me like that. No, it's not the same for sure. Because people are like, yo, those are so great. I'm like,
do you feel like it's changed your personality at all? I'm always worried.
I think a little bit. To be honest with you, I think I'm not as creative, but I was really crazy.
Okay.
It's good for me now because I would wake up in the middle of the night and write down freaking 5 ideas that I have just in my sleep about what I want to make, create.
And then never do them.
No, I would always do them. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
I would try to follow up on all of them.
Okay.
And you can't do them all. But I would just keep fighting to do more and more and more and more.
Okay.
It's like, how many more? I was all gas, no brake. Just go. Never maybe I shouldn't do that because that's going to be if it goes bad, I could lose a ton of money or I might not, that might not work. I never had those thoughts. Now it's kind of I could think things through. I have more of a process.
That's awesome, man.
But not as original thoughts all the time. I think I'm starting to realize that has subsided a little. Maybe I'm just getting old too. Who knows?
Could be.
Maybe
but listen, man. If it's worked out, you're laser focused. Yeah. You're doing the club, the restaurant, the liquor.
Yeah, it's been good.
Come on, man.
It's been going good.
Awesome, buddy.
So, what am I looking for you to do next before we wrap it up? Where can they find?
This week I'm down in South Florida.
Yeah.
I'm down in West Palm Beach Improv and in Miami Improv.
I can't wait to get back there and check out the new club.
No, come on down, man. It's beautiful.
All right, guys. Ricky Cruz on the Captain's Log. We're out.
Man.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. JP Sears. Wow, that's gonna be a huge show. Cut. Yeah. I should end it.